Regional leaders and global economic thinkers are gathering in Jakarta for the World Economic Forum on East Asia. With the US having a horrible month of economic data and talk again of a double-dip recession, it's Asia where the hope lies, and nowhere more so than China. Our guest tonight is Stephen Roach, one of the most influential economists on Wall Street. He spent 3 years in Asia before returning to New York, where he lectures at Yale University and is the non-executive chairman of Morgan Stanley Asia. He joined me a short time ago. Stephen Roach, welcome to Late Line.
Thank you, Ali. Pleasure to be with you.
The World Economic Forum is focusing on East Asia at its current summit in Jakarta and on the sustainability of regional growth. And I guess that question probably applies to China more than any other country. It's a government that's trying to turn its economy from one that's been driven by exports to one that hopefully will be driven by the domestic consumer. How confident are you that China can make that transition and not fall off a cliff?
I'm very confident, Ali. I think the 12th five-year plan that was enacted in March of this year lays out three very important building blocks for this transition. Number one, focusing on new sources of job creation and services. Number two, boosting wage income by very aggressive urbanization, moving tens of millions of people each year from the countryside to the cities. Number three, boosting the social safety net, especially by investing in Social Security, private pensions, and medical insurance. You do that, and the consumption share of the Chinese GDP will rise from very low levels up to about 43% of GDP over the next 5 years.
I want to ask you about that, I suppose, that savings ratio in a minute, but how pivotal is this moment in China's economic history?
Well, I think it's very important. The Chinese miracle has been unprecedented over the last 30 years, but it's mainly been driven by a producer society that depends on vigorous growth in external demand. And in the post-crisis world, external demand that originates in the United States, Europe, and especially Japan will be unusually weak. And so China knows this and has figured out it's got to draw much more support from the internal demand of its 1.3 billion consumers. It's got the strategy and I think the commitment and